Some potentially severe weather here.
Yeah,
Maybe even tornadoes.
exactly. It's going to get a little bumpy here this afternoon. Things will be rocking and rolling, I think, here in the matter of a few hours' time. So kind of the last minute to prepare any plans you may have for this afternoon, or alternate plans, I should say, too.
Last minute walks if you actually do want to go outside.
Yeah, that too. That time is really beginning to shrink. Let's show you what's going on outside right now. A little peek of the sun is what we're seeing here, there, and everywhere, but not a lot of it. Just enough, though, that we're getting some storm energy to start building up. Live look at Prophetstown along the Rock River confirms that. We've still had some cloud cover here, though, some sun trying to peek through. We're in the low 70s, so we're just warm enough. The dew point also sitting at 55. You want it to be 55 or warmer in this aspect here to get severe weather. So we've met both of those criteria. Now all we need is a front to get something kicked up here, and it's moving in as we speak, because you see 70s along and south of Interstate 80, 60s to the north of that. In between is where you've got a warm front currently sitting, and the radar is quiet here right now. But as we widen out this picture, there's our warm front quickly surging northward. What we're going to be watching is for some new storm development that will likely take place right into here. In fact, you're starting to see some first signs of that. You got one wave here, another wave of some storms down there, all of those racing to the northeast in just a matter of time before they can interact with all of this unstable air that we've got going. Visible satellite shows, yes, some sunshine is going to quickly work its way here to the north. There you see the new storms taking off. Very popcorn-like appearance to the clouds there. But it's this clearing right here south of the Quad Cities that has me concerned that we're going to continue to build in this storm energy. Already a tornado watch well to the southwest of us. This is for southern Iowa. That goes until 6 o'clock. We're likely going to need another one here for the Quad Cities as we head into the early afternoon. There you see the storm energy building. Here's your color scale as that lava appearance gets hotter and brighter. That's more and more storm energy. And here we are 1 o'clock. Some of those scattered storms get going southwest of the Quad Cities, and they'll utilize that storm energy as they quickly work their way into the east. And there you see, even by 4 o'clock and getting into our Illinois hometowns, still a good chunk of storm energy around, still some scattered storms going with all threats today. Hail, the wind, and yes, a couple of strong tornadoes possible in all of this as we go through the evening. So let's go over the threat zones again. It's a 3 out of 5 for nearly all of us except extreme eastern parts of the region. This is just outside of Sterling Rock Falls and Princeton, but honestly, at this point, it really doesn't matter. I would consider everyone, including our outlying areas not in dark maroon, to be in this 3 out of 5 risk today, mainly because I have a feeling in the next update, which comes out any moment now, this will likely be extended to push a little further to the east, especially looking at that visible satellite and some of the clearing coming in. This is kind of more concerning, though, is the threat for a few strong tornadoes, and that exists in the Polka Dot region. That also takes up a good chunk of real estate today, and it does include the Quad Cities as well. The hail risk, you can't ignore that. 2-inch plus diameter hail will be possible. Also in the Polka Dot zone, does include the Quad Cities and areas well to the west. So we're talking 2 to 10 o'clock today, mainly because there's 2 rounds of storms. The first one has a 3 out of 5 for hail and tornadoes and a 2 out of 5 for wind. The second one likely will contain similar threats, but the timing is a little bit different. So we'll get round 1 here between 2 and say 6 o'clock. Round 2 will likely come after dark between 7 and 10. And it depends on what happens with round 1 is what happens with round 2. They're very connected to each other. We have high confidence, of course, of round 1, which is this right here, getting into the Quad Cities by about 2, 3 o'clock. It's into Burlington, Mount Pleasant first, obviously, and Muscatine. But then we walk this through here into the afternoon, and then a secondary line has the potential to develop as we go through the evening. You notice though some of these are scattered. It's the ones that can stay away from a total line that are going to cause us the most problems this evening. So when you're looking at the radar, if it's a solid line, that's kind of a less of a threat for tornadoes. But if there's a storm that can get outside of that line and stay by itself, those are the kind we get nervous about. So that's what we're going to be watching as we go through the evening. Here's the secondary threat I'm talking about. You see another cell developing here in Henry and also Bureau County after 7 o'clock. That's an isolated severe weather threat that's worth watching as well. A reminder, if you don't have the Storm Track 8 app or the News 8 app, really good resource to have. All of our radio partners also fully involved. iHeart radio stations will simulcast our severe weather coverage if that threatens the Quad Cities. We're also on KMAQ in Maquoketa, KROS and WRMJ. So we have a ton of way for you to receive watches, warnings, all the updates. Also, if you have storm anxiety, if you can green check mark every single thing on this list, you are ready to go. You are prepared to go. A way to receive alerts and warnings. Do you know where to shelter? How you're going to communicate with family members, friends, and emergency officials if you need to? And do you have your first aid kit ready to go? If you can green light all 4 of those things, you, my friend, are fully prepared for whatever may come our way this afternoon. No doubt we'll be tracking it right here for you. Let's do our 8-day tracker right after this.
Imagine how inconvenient your life would be without power. No lights, no refrigeration, no heating or cooling, no electronics. But with a Generac home standby generator, you will have power when you need it most after sensing a power outage. Generac generators automatically provide backup power so your life goes on uninterrupted.
Call the Electric Doctor, your generator specialist. Electric Doctor, the doctor that still makes house calls. 563-823-4188.
Once we get through today, just some rain coming in on Thursday, followed by dry conditions for the weekend. But until then, we'll continue to keep an eye here on the radar. I'll be in along with Chief Meteorologist James Zahara and Morgan Strackbine heading out in the Beast today. Full coverage expected no matter what happens.
Long
Busy day ahead.
Yep, busy,
Very.
busy day.
We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Andrew. Well, also now is a good time to remind you to download the News 8 app. It will help you get up-to-the-minute updates on how the weather is impacting our area as these storms roll through.